welcome to MET 160, Week 7. This week we're going to be working on the midterm review to help you get ready for the midterm exam that'll be held in this week's lab. So why don't we take a look at what we're going to work on. We'll go to course content, Week 7, and here's our review part. Now, looking at this review part, we can see a couple things. Got some basic overall width and lengths. We've got a corner radius that's applied 4 times. We've got a hole pattern here, some large radiuses on this edge, and some overall basic dimensions. First thing I'm going to do is double check by doing some math, and if you were to actually write it out and do the math, 2.75 plus 1.625 minus 6 would leave us with 1.625 on this side. That tells us that this whole pattern is centered left to right. 1.5 plus 750 is 2.25, which means this has to be 750, so it's also centered up to down. What that tells me we want to do is use a center rectangle to draw this base. So I'm going to start drawing this from the top plane. Draw the base with 2 rectangles. Then from the right side, I will draw one of these loops. I'll extrude it, then mirror it to the other side. And finally, I'll finish off by adding all 4 of those radii with the fillet tool. So let's move over into CAD and get started. Okay, now that we're in CAD, let's go ahead and start a new part. So I'm going to go to New. Make sure you're in the Advanced Template section. We'll go STCC, English, and grab a part file. Now again, the first thing I'm going to do is start by creating a rectangle for the base and a rectangle to serve as the basis for this 4-hole pattern. So I will start a sketch on the top plane. I'm going to go to the rectangle commands and select center rectangle. Now that I'm in center rectangle, I'm going to select from midpoints for my construction lines. With that, I will draw 2 rectangles, one larger one to represent the base, and one smaller one to represent the hole pattern. Both of those are drawn from center. Now I will click inside the smaller rectangle and select construction geometry, which will convert that rectangle into a centerline pattern that I can use for my hole locations. Now, looking at the blueprint, this part is 6 inches wide by 3 inches tall, and the pattern is 2.75 wide by 1.5 inches tall. We'll go to Smart Dimension. We'll make this 6 inches wide. We'll make it 3 inches tall. The whole pattern is 2.75 wide and 1.5 inches tall. If we look at the blueprint, there are holes at the 4 corners of that rectangle, and they are all 575 in diameter. So we're going to draw 4 circles. And then in the Control key, I will select until I have all 4 circles highlighted. Once I've highlighted all of them, I'm going to release the Control key and press. Now whatever dimension I apply to one will apply to all of them. So I will Smart Dimension one of the holes to 0.575. Okay, with that, the base is ready to extrude. So we're going to go to Features, Extrude, and it is 125 thick. So we'll type in 0.125, press Enter, and hit OK. Perfect. Now, for the next step, we're going to start a sketch on the right side of the part. So I'm going to go to Sketch, go all the way over to this right face, and draw my right view from here. Now, this right view is a rectangle with rounded corners. So we have a couple options. I'm going to draw it by using the Line tool and use the Leave and Come Back trick. So I'm going to start by closing off this bottom edge. Again, I still need to make a closed profile, even if I'm using an edge of the part. Then I will go up, I will leave and come back to enter the arc tool, go to the right, trying to get these horizontal preview lines that don't want to show up. So we'll just place that, go, and we'll go down. Okay. Now I did not get all of my tangents, so I can see a tangent here and there, but I need a tangent everywhere a line and arc meet, so I'm going to click those points and select Make Tangent. Additionally, the radius here is a 2 times, so I'm going to hold Control to select both of these arcs, let go of Control, and make equal. Now again, whatever dimension I apply to one side will apply to the other. These have a radius of 1 inch according to the blueprint, and for the next step we have a height of 2.25 to the bottom edge of the part. So we'll go with a radius of 1, and our height goes from the top of this to the very bottom of the part, and that was 2.25. Perfect. With that, we'll go Features, Extrude. Now you can see we're extruding the wrong direction. We need to extrude in. So next to blind, I have a reverse button that will reverse the direction. And we do extrude to 125, so that is okay. Now that we've created the right side, we're going to mirror that across to the left. So part of the reason we did a center rectangle before is that my right plane is in the middle of the part, and I can use that as my mirror plane for this operation. So in the Features tab, we're going to go over to Mirror. Now for Mirror Facer Plane, I need to click Part 1 here to reveal my feature tree, and we'll select the right plane. And for Features to mirror, I'm going to select my Boss Extrude 2. And we can see that that should replicate that on the other side of the part. Perfect. Now the final step is to add the fillets, which are 4 times 125. So we'll go to Features and the Fillet command. Our fillet should be set to, or we need to set it to, 125. Make sure you have full preview on, and we'll select the edges that we want to fillet. We want these 2 inside edges and the 2 outside edges as well. Those look good, so we'll hit OK. Now, looking at the drawing, we have a material of 1060 alloy. So we'll right-click on Material and Edit, and we're going to search for 1060. There's 1060 alloy, so I'll click it. And now, we'll go back to our isometric or our 3D view, and we'll check our mass properties. So we have a volume of 3.61 inches and a mass of 0.35 pounds. If we look at our blueprint, we've got a volume of 3.61 inches and 0.35 pounds. So those match. And with that, this part is done.